I have some great news to share with all of you. Season 4 of The Mandalorian is not happening. And this brings me great joy because no longer am I going to see the butchering of my boy, which is the Mandalorian, Mando, Din Djarin. We all saw in Season 3 of The Mandalorian that he gave up his balls, he gave them to Bo-Katan, she put them in her purse, and she is now your Mandalorian. Right here, this is another executive producer with The Mandalorian, right? This Rick guy, who is now admitting that Bo-Katan is your new Mandalorian. We all saw that unnecessary cameo by alleged Predator Lizzo, which, by the way, Disney, you owe us an apology for including this alleged Predator in Star Wars. We saw the horrible decision that they made with the Darksaber. Giving it to Bo-Katan was a horrible decision, and ultimately meaningless decision, because by the end of the season, they destroyed the Darksaber. Horrible decision after horrible decision. I was to the point watching this show that I was like, we need to throw this entire show away. And that is exactly what is happening, because look at this. This comes to us from the very credible Cosmic Book News. The Mandalorian Season 4 canceled in favor for a movie. Now, I don't think this movie's going to get made. I think we saw the end of this show. We all saw that last scene where Mando and little baby Yoda were sitting on a porch, right? I think that was it. I think that in a few months, they're going to come out and they're going to say, oh, well, we saw the fruition of The Mandalorian. It's time to move on to something else. And they've already planted the seeds with this. This is Disney president Bob Iger stating that Disney is pulling back on making Marvel and Star Wars content. And again, I'm happy that Season 4 of The Mandalorian is not happening, because we all saw the drop in quality in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. And like many of you, I expected Season 4 to be even worse, because there was a drastic change between Season 2 and Season 3 of The Mandalorian. And I feel that change was sparked because Jon Favreau was no longer involved creatively in The Mandalorian. There was a rumor a little while ago right here that The Mandalorian creator Jon Favreau is the casualty of Lucasfilm Civil War, right? Not really working on Star Wars anymore, and I believe it. I truly do, because again, if you saw the disaster that was The Mandalorian Season 3, you would realize that Jon Favreau was nowhere near this thing. In fact, I believe that Season 3 of The Mandalorian was written by AI. I truly do. I believe that Jon Favreau's contract probably forced him to say certain things, to do certain things, such as make these appearances, right? And I believe he's just waiting for his contract to expire, and he's just going to play a background role in Dave Filoni's projects. Now, again, this is a good thing. This is a good thing because no longer are we going to have to go through the pain of watching Star Wars die a slow death, right? Because that's what's been happening since Disney purchased Lucasfilm. But gladly, it is finally over, and it is time for us to move on. And in fact, I wish that Disney would cancel all Star Wars projects with the exception of Dave Filoni's movie and Ahsoka, because everything else that is Star Wars related that Disney is producing is going to be garbage. And yes, including The Acolyte, which is now, it is being rumored, right? Well, I guess not rumored, I guess it's been confirmed, because as you can see here, The Acolyte actress Daphne Keane claims Disney Plus' Star Wars series, The Acolyte, features a lack of guns, right? A lack of blasters. And if you read this article, this is on Bounding Into Comics, they explain that the fight sequences are not going to include cables. There's not going to be no CGI. It's just going to be a lot more hand-to-hand combat, with a lot of the scenes not even including lightsabers. Again, this show just looks like a dumpster fire. This show is a show that should be canceled by Disney, right? They should just write this off as a loss in next year's taxes. It's not something no real Star Wars fan wants to see. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Hit that notification bell, and like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.